GIZ, through support from European Union, German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, the Government of Uganda, Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, and Sokadido launched a project, Responsible Governance of Investment in Land, RGIL, which is part of GIZ, Global Program Responsible Land Policy, RELAPU, in Uganda.
We are basically looking at 3 areas to improve while doing this project, and one of it is strengthening the capacity of the local land users to be able to protect their legitimate land rights. And the other thing that we are working on is to build the capacity of the local government officials to be able to enact the laws that guide the investments in land. While the other thing is we want to strengthen the capacities of the local investors to be able to comply with the laws that guide the investment, majorly the agricultural investments in land. Now, this project is situated in Soroti and Katafu.
Responsible governance of investment in land is part of GIZ Global Program, Responsible Land Policy in Uganda. Opeded Simon Bernard is one of our investors whose farm sits on 41 acres of land in Kapujan sub-county.
This is Greenland Integrated Farm that was established in the year 2003 till now. We carry out a lot of activities. We've got the fish ponds, we've got the onion project, we've got the citrus, we've got cows and other things and so on.
Greenland Integrated Farm trains the local communities on modern, commercial and sustainable agriculture. Opeded owns a valley dam of 60 by 40 meters within his farm, which benefits the community with water for watering seedlings and vegetables during the dry season. The local community members bring their animals to drink from the dam as they are grazing. The community members also fetch water from the dam for domestic use. Many investments have often had both positive and negative effects, socially and economically, on the surrounding communities of approximately 1 kilometer radius of a given investment.
So isomanesho buke etachi dache pakina metori kapu mena sasa metemese mameto bere sabiti mwana tacha
na soriti na bunio jakaiti ngoni akozbeto beta kuya robert bakate bara be potakrono ane kamartu ngalupu nere kule baya kule bona bakarebe osama ngino punu tubi tungalupu ko porbi chetunga poto kapak na ga jakaiti ngoni sobo partenaire balagi mo kinso bi bon ko be ci yongit bo bay moro kele sobo bo so opode bona yari kini ba ko sa chawto joker yongite lo aw par kele jokko so pode weri yongti niste so jole kamunara la korion o jira kapo pede de Simon niste be biebo nisi kele su neighbors yangar so joko yes nesi yangar so joko akechwara msibiti onori yakini si joa choa be ponelo chatu nereki tok kwana ponelo kwaen ura tunu sinija inesi mami touch tonga.
Vicky Akiteng owns a farm in Tubur sub-county where she does sheep keeping and apiary. She has 37 sheep sheltered under a sheep pen, which she locally constructed using offcuts of timber. Vicky's apiary project started with 15 local beehives, and she later owned both 10 modern beehives upon realizing profits from her investment. The apiary farm of Vicky is entirely taken care of by the neighborhood. It is stationed under a mango tree, and so far, Vicky has not reported any case of theft since she began her project.
My first harvest, impressed me. I made around 1 million. That gave me morale to put to improve now my apiary project by buying the KTVs. I attacking our project, and now I'm expecting the next harvest of the new beehives. My relationship with my community, they are really positive about it, because when I invite them to come and help me do the work, they do it positively. In my sheep project, I've just employed local people who are just not highly educated, but just the community members. I pick one of them to come and help me do the work. I pay them. Even the harvesting of the honey, I call the boys around the community. But the challenge there again is I don't have the bee suit. I harvest them locally, but I'm intending to equip them with the bee suits.
As a result of the RGIL project guidelines implemented by Sokadido, Vicky and herself a perfect relationship with her neighbors. She hires them to graze her sheep and harvest honey.
Cho cá singo, ipaktor ko singo ni lao. Nari bore to jo cá toringo, jai na kini soda kiu no tomato to bet. Ututete, Vicky ipone la yao na. Guys so ditunga liki kai na kwap. Do kwa ne eje Vicky kwa ne ayao na au ekeo na soda kwapa ngoro ni chikai na kwap.
Ibu so di kota gange. Ina kini so esi so ikopun. Asata sada gweli bore ni pero sekonai. Agwelun. Sora waila pita ameri ni da. Ibu jo ikota jo da gange kana arabi joko ko berengo da pero ni sekonai. E joko kini jo di bore kengin. Di joko kingesi jo. Ina je si jo ibore keng na urna sudi ti nyakaresi. Na yarede.
As a beneficiary of both Relapo and RGIL projects of GIZ, Joseph Elubu secured and protected land in Tubur sub-county where he invested on citrus farming.
Raile farmu la nyata ke kiror moru parsa farm ke polebe jasingone kede farmo misirini atomon ngesinu ejaye family muchugai yala mangonoe anapaketana ano Sokadida dolo kine yongo ke polo botoma fama ne jasingo ke de somak lo tapto se ngarana kiringo leja mamete berongo kele rai permanent raga tunga kaisare tomon kwangin se pota ngarana kiringo tomo fama ke na swam.
We have had a number of local investors on land where people are struggling to see how best can they earn a living, how best can they improve on their economic welfare in their homes. We have quite a number of enthusiastic and very, very brave farmers, but the challenge is that their investments, the way they are handling them, are really not environmentally friendly as per se. When you talk about the chemicals that they're using, you find most of them use pesticides that are really so dangerous to human health, and even the crops themselves that they are growing. You talk about rockets, they use strikers, and you find that these chemicals have a lot of profane, and at the end of the day, when they spray their crops, you find that they don't have the time interval. When do you spray? When is that output or the crop ready for consumption? They spray crops in the evening. After 30 minutes, they are harvested, they are taken to the market, and you know these chemicals are so dangerous to human health, and also they cause environmental pollution. You find that the soils have been polluted. After two seasons, the soil is non-productive, but they cannot know what is the problem. At the end of the day, these investors have encroached on these sensitive ecological systems like wetlands. You find someone opens up his land up to the wetland because they are not guided on their investments. In the wetland, you find they use chemicals there. These chemicals translate into the water sources and affect the aquatic life. And even the crops, at times you find them wilting because there is excessive application of the pesticides. So at the end of the day, they are making losses that they are not aware of where the losses are coming from.
aneja sidu eko dara rapa nyina idulo mina sema kiko mina yoka liko kalusta chukuluzo biko kuda rasa do beche pona sai duai panyingi ilo tudo bai duai panyingi chapa kichima bejina idue joko yemina rasa na wasa ko himba medumu te musagolo iko katwandike na ipanyingi ko nyedo akuria ureja iko hapa sobe mimi niko kuchapa kikona kai opai kinu suri kiribo bai wara waya jelo asolai mama yuare jaira we joko anata ado vaka mina si ajaidu ela boliasi suri kinai bir oporote bira sola dedo boy yaw berebo ajanga kineta bio inin yesino no ami bo sho berebo ne jai kede isani ejakine ni peste jakaita sotai kunje do bolu chejiran mametete bara ibo na joko nida poro rai chiare te chiare ta kine peta to anyata kine ba adiga ine peta bala ra ngona ra kanyi pini nida mamdu be jina be sustu beran ko nyibo jina jene bongi duchuni jar jat be mamera be to akere tete jejo ke jasli tete jejo jasli tete rono.
Awoja Riverside Farm is one of the most iconic investments in Soroti among local investors. It is an inspiration and a college of learning to the surrounding communities of Aukot, Teso, and Uganda at large.
My name is Joseph Asutai. I'm a farmer in Awoja Riverside Farm and Leisure Park. It sits on 30 acres of land just at the side of Awoja River. So we largely specialize in horticultural products. That is our flagship. Crops like green pepper, sweet pepper, tomatoes, watermelon, onions, and the like. The reason being that these have a ready local market. But we do a few other things away from crops. We do livestock. And in the area of livestock, we do goat and sheep rearing. The other segment that we run in this is that we promote agro-tourism. We provide conference facilities, we do demos and trainings, and we do now run agriculture shows also in the same farm. We have different categories of staff. We have full-time staff who are a skeleton group of about 7, of which 2 are female and 5 are male. But we also have semi-permanent staff, and then we have casual staff. If you total all that up, depending on the activity, depending on the day, sometimes you have as many as 60 people engaged in an activity, but it can also drop down to as low as say 8, again depending on the activity.
Ina be tibon be joka kurna ejay ofamulo nara icha kolongo da koresi nyamat bijekinte soda ime down kaponat emutugulu e cabbage do aningo shaiti na ijari so kubokana tomofamalo nesi ama musu fence la yiwara nara jaibu kala ningo shaiti ngine 40 barenda lo martoma unyameti ko sinyamat le pititi fesinga kina ise fence la jokan nese jokare soda kori nyamat lu ayi wara kotoma so de wildlife sick kori no kosi muni kosi nyamat ai seke giuni ajasi gwene linga pitiso esa lo so jasi kakini nyamat kwenye kupokana ama muti gwene muna da wesi gwene so koto bere basi niko ikinti jakata sutai kade kampani yang ada kiruna kurtis ijia ikibere boso iboro lu iwaru sakosa wati narai neni nesidu munasa de kasineda.
In Katine sub-county, we have an investor called Chebet Ann. Chebet is a retired businesswoman who actively took farming as the main course. She passionately practices poultry farming and piggery in Katine sub-county. Apparently, she has a total of 22 pigs in her farm.
2017, I retired back to the village. That's when I started the piggery farming. And I was enjoying it because the first pigs I had 3 females, which would produce 13 piglets, and I would sell all the piglets at 100. But most people wanted females, so males would remain, and I castrated them. Then later on, I would sell those ones when they grow big, 6 to 8 months, I would sell them. So at least I picked interest in piggery so much because it was giving me some good income. And the same to maize, because maize was giving me the food for the pigs and for consumption. Sometimes I sell some to improve on my income. And then I had also chicken, which was helping me. I get eggs, I sell to the restaurant in Surutu, and they give me back that money. I buy the medicine for the chicken. And all that I've been employing people, especially youth, who have been coming to help me to weed like maize, granules. Even those who keep the pigs have been used, and still I have a youth who is still keeping the pigs. So the villagers, because of what I was doing and being somebody from far, I am the one who introduced planting maize in large quantities, in large gardens here. So some could feel jealousy, some could feel happy that she has brought us some knowledge. I brought knowledge of planting matoke. At times I would call them and tell them, you take a sucker, you also plant, take 3, you take 3, take 4, plant, and you will see this land is good. So some took, and they are still doing it now.
Ponela jenianga mojango na michebet. Era kurion tutubet. Keda ipitida. Ido da isichana kinitunga tutubet. Nwebe ita swam. Owaila koru keda ipit. Iyo ni pedera irichi da pedera ja irichi. Dodo ichetunga yanga to saita pala unit. Konyari tupujo. Siana kininge sinoi be koto ya sai swamboro ngule yare ina kinete ya dum na go ngarai. And I touch it with somero.
These investors consider the legality of the enterprise for different reasons, so that first of all the investment is known within the government arms, that they are trading in something that is legal and not something that is illegal, but also for different purposes. In case they would want to access credit in future, they would look at the legal aspects of if they are registered and if their registration certificates are valid.
One of the projects we've had for the past 3 years is GIZ, which brought in the Reliable project that is on the systematic land demarcation. Unfortunately, GIZ is facing out on the systematic land demarcation, but nevertheless, GIZ still has brought in other smaller components of projects. One among them is the RGIL project, which is trying to find ways of seeing how communities will put land to systematic use and better use.
This program was brought to you by the Government of Uganda under the Ministry of Land, Housing and Urban Development, European Union, German Cooperation, GIZ, and Sokadido.